The very first puff sets off a chain reaction inside the body. Within seconds, nicotine reaches the brain, triggering the release of dopamine, the so-called pleasure hormone. This is why many smokers describe their first cigarette of the day as an instant relief, even though it's a chemical illusion. But along with dopamine comes adrenaline. The body is tricked into a state of alertness. The heart beats faster and blood vessels tighten. This is why some smokers feel slightly dizzy or lightheaded after smoking. It's not relaxation. It's the body under stress. Scientists have shown that even a single cigarette can reduce the amount of oxygen circulating in your blood because carbon monoxide takes the place of oxygen in red blood cells. That means your muscles and organs receive less energy almost immediately. So within just minutes of lighting up, your body isn't relaxing, it's fighting. And this is only the beginning of what happens when the habit repeats every day for 30 days. Many smokers swear that cigarettes calm their nerves. But here's the paradox. Nicotine is actually a stimulant. It tricks the brain into thinking stress is going down, when in reality, it's setting up the body for more stress later. When nicotine levels rise, tension seems to fade because the brain has been craving the chemical. Once satisfied, that craving temporarily stops. But as soon as nicotine leaves the system, withdrawal kicks in, making the person irritable, anxious, or restless. This cycle of relief followed by craving is why smokers often believe cigarettes reduce stress. In truth, they're just avoiding the discomfort that smoking itself created in the first place. So after just a few days of daily smoking, the body is already caught in a trap, chasing a peace that never really comes. Nicotine is one of the fastest substances to hijack the brain's reward system. Studies show that it takes only a few days of regular smoking for the brain to start rewiring itself, demanding more frequent doses. Inside the brain, nicotine binds to receptors designed for acetylcholine, a natural neurotransmitter. Once these receptors are activated too often, the brain responds by creating more of them. That means over time, the smoker needs more nicotine to feel the same satisfaction. This process doesn't take years. It can begin in less than a week. That's why many people who believe they are casual smokers quickly find themselves struggling to stop. Addiction, therefore, isn't a long-term danger. It's an almost immediate consequence of daily smoking. Every puff of smoke introduces toxic chemicals like nicotine and carbon monoxide, which directly affect the cardiovascular system. The heart begins to work harder almost instantly, as if the body were under constant pressure. Within the first week of daily smoking, blood pressure rises and the resting heart rate speeds up. This makes the heart less efficient and more vulnerable to long-term damage. Some studies even compare the short-term effect of smoking to climbing several flights of stairs while standing still. The heart also becomes more sensitive to adrenaline surges, which means stress feels heavier on a smoker than on a non-smoker. Over 30 days, this stress compounds into measurable strain on the cardiovascular system. So while the lungs may take center stage in conversations about smoking, the heart is quietly paying a heavy price from the very beginning. Cigarette smoke contains over 7,000 chemicals, many of which irritate and inflame the airways. Even within the first few days of daily smoking, cilia, the tiny hairs that clean the lungs, begin to slow down and die off. This means dust, bacteria, and toxins get trapped inside the lungs instead of being expelled. Smokers often notice a morning cough developing within weeks, which is actually the body's desperate attempt to clear what the cilia no longer can. Another hidden effect is the swelling of the bronchial tubes. Breathing becomes slightly less efficient, though most people won't consciously notice it in the beginning. Scientists have shown that even light smoking reduces lung function almost immediately. After 30 days, the lungs aren't just irritated. They're already showing early signs of structural damage that could become permanent with time. Even after just a few days of daily smoking, The odor of tobacco clings to everything: clothes, hair, skin, and even breath. That's because tiny particles of tar and smoke stick to surfaces and are released slowly over time. But the smell isn't only external. Chemicals from smoke enter the bloodstream and are carried to sweat glands, saliva, and even pores. This is why brushing your teeth or showering may not fully mask the scent. What's worse is that the smoker often doesn't notice the smell anymore. The brain adapts to constant exposure, while non-smokers around them detect it instantly. This creates a silent barrier in social interactions. So within 30 days, smoking isn't just damaging health, it's also altering how the world perceives you, often in ways you don't realize. Quick question for you. Have you ever noticed how strong the smell of cigarette smoke can be on someone's clothes or hair, even hours later? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know if this is something that bothers you as much as it does non-smokers. The skin is one of the first organs to reveal the hidden toll of smoking. Nicotine narrows blood vessels, reducing the flow of oxygen and nutrients that keep skin healthy and elastic. Within weeks, this leads to a duller complexion, and some people notice their skin becoming drier or losing their natural glow. Collagen production also starts to decline, which is critical for preventing wrinkles. In just 30 days, your skin can begin to reflect years of stress and damage, even before internal diseases are noticeable. Blood tests tell a story that the naked eye cannot see. After 30 days of daily smoking, the blood is carrying significantly higher levels of carbon monoxide, which reduces oxygen transport to organs. At the same time, nicotine raises levels of adrenaline, increasing blood pressure and making arteries stiffer. This creates the perfect environment for clots and blockages to form. Doctors often describe smokers' blood as stickier because platelets are more likely to clump together. There's also a rise in inflammatory markers. The immune system perceives smoking as an ongoing attack, launching defenses that create low-grade inflammation throughout the body. So even if you feel fine after a month of smoking, your blood work would already show the first warning signs of damage. Many smokers claim cigarettes help them control weight, but the mechanism is more complex than simply killing hunger. Nicotine speeds up metabolism slightly, making the body burn calories faster. At the same time, nicotine suppresses certain hunger signals in the brain, making food seem less appealing. This is why new smokers often eat less without realizing it. But the effect isn't sustainable. As the brain adapts to nicotine, cravings for cigarettes replace normal hunger cues. Some smokers snack more, not less, especially when trying to quit, because their brain is seeking comfort. So after 30 days, your relationship with food can already feel different, not healthier, but driven by nicotine rather than natural hunger. Perhaps the most dangerous illusion of smoking is the belief in control. Many daily smokers tell themselves they can quit at any moment, but research shows that nicotine addiction is one of the hardest to break. In just weeks, the brain begins associating cigarettes with specific routines: morning coffee, work breaks, after meals. These associations become psychological anchors, reinforcing the habit far beyond the chemical addiction. This illusion of control is part of why people underestimate the danger. They think they're choosing to smoke, when in reality, the habit is choosing for them. By the end of 30 days, quitting isn't just about willpower. It's about rewiring both body and mind from a cycle that has already tightened its grip. By the way, if you're curious about how other everyday habits affect your body, you'll want to check out this video. What happens if you drink Coca-Cola every day for 30 days, according to science? You might be shocked at the similarities between soda and cigarettes when it comes to how quickly the body reacts. Cigarette smoke doesn't just stay in the lungs.
It travels through the bloodstream, reaching every organ. Within weeks of daily smoking, low-grade inflammation begins to spread quietly throughout the body. This inflammation damages blood vessels, tissues, and even DNA. While the body constantly tries to repair itself, smoking makes the repair process weaker and less effective. Over time, this creates microscopic scars that never fully heal. The scary part is that these changes are invisible. You won't feel them in 30 days, but doctors can already detect early signs of oxidative stress and inflammation markers in lab tests. It's like a silent storm inside your body. No pain, no warning, but real damage accumulating beneath the surface. Many people believe chronic illnesses like cancer or heart disease only happen after years of smoking. But science shows the risk begins much earlier than most realize. Within a month, the body is already experiencing DNA mutations caused by toxic chemicals in smoke. These mutations don't guarantee disease, but they increase the odds dramatically, even at an early stage. Blood vessel damage, reduced lung function, and systemic inflammation all combine to accelerate aging and weaken the body's defenses. It's not about if the damage starts, it's about how quickly it builds. So after 30 days, the groundwork for chronic illness is already in place. The seeds have been planted, and the longer the habit continues, the stronger they grow. Here's the hopeful twist. The body has an incredible ability to heal. If you stop smoking after 30 days, your blood pressure begins to drop and carbon monoxide levels in the blood return to normal within just 48 hours. Cilia in the lungs slowly start to recover, making it easier to clear mucus and breathe better. Circulation improves, and the risk of heart attack decreases within weeks. Skin cells receive more oxygen, which helps restore a healthier glow. Even your sense of taste and smells sharpen again, bringing food and scents back to life. Quitting after 30 days won't erase all risks, but it gives your body a fighting chance to rebuild and prevent long-term consequences. After all the science, the question remains, what do 30 days of smoking really give you? A fleeting sense of relief? A false sense of control? Or a body that is already fighting invisible battles to survive? The truth is, every cigarette steals more than it gives. The habit promises comfort, but delivers damage. Damage that begins from the very first puff and compounds with every day that passes. Science is clear. 30 days is enough to leave a mark, but it's also enough time to choose differently, to stop before the grip tightens further. So, is it worth it? That's the choice every smoker faces, but science has already given us the answer. If this video opened your eyes, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. The more people know the truth, the more lives we can impact.